Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Getting over a cold, so I got this like little tickle in my throat. Today, let's talk about a few things. Didn't really have anything specifically planned other than the Gerber center drive, but let's just see where it takes us. So, talking about the center drive, let's talk about that. Let's start with that. So here it is. Comes with this nice leather case. It is made in the USA, which is fantastic. But let's talk about the case a little bit. There's one little thing that I want to point out. It does have a button snap to close it and open it. Inside it comes with the bit holder and of course the multi-tool. So we'll talk about the multi-tool in a second, but if you can see inside the case, so inside the case, there is a flap. And it looks like this was made for people who are right-handed, because what's the reasoning behind that? So if you look over here, we have your belt loop, right? So if you take your belt and you push it through this side, right? You could see the overlap here will allow the belt to pass through. Now, if I'm a lefty and I have to pass my belt through this hole, you're probably going to end up catching this lip right here, because you're going to be passing the belt this way. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but and it could, over time cause a problem with the leather, maybe open it up a little bit, who knows. But that's really the only flaw I see with the case. It does have, the rivets, metal rivets in there, and it has a plastic piece in there to hold this bit, the extra bits. And it is a really nice case. It looks nice. It's got nice quality leather, and of course it's made in the USA. All right, let's talk about the multi-tool. And, this is really just unbiased review. I have Leatherman, I have Gerber, I have all kinds of multi-tools, so I don't really care if it's good or bad. I just want you to get an idea of what it has to offer, and I do point out the good things and the bad things. So anyways, the reason why I got this particular multi-tool is because mostly the drive. So the center drive is the main component, and if you open it up, they call it the center drive because obviously the drive is right here in the center of access. So like when you're screwing something in or unscrewing, you can see the bit is nice and center, and it's easy to turn. They give you this also thumb rest here, and we're going to talk about this. This is the lock mechanism for the other tools that are within the multi-tool. For this particular purpose, it really works well because you can get a good grip on it. I also like the fact that it's magnetic here. It takes full-size driver bits, which is really cool. If we look at, and I just, I have all my multi-tools here, but I'm going to just pull out the arc. Like most of the multi-tools out there, you'll get, a bit that is like this, and it is, flat. And it works, but there's nothing like having that, the full-size bit driver. And you could also replace it with all different types of bits that you might have. It does have a push locking mechanism, or unlocking I should say, and it has a little detent here that you can see, and that's what locks it in place. Now it does hit the frame, and you can see some minor scratching right there because when you fold it in right there, it hits the frame, and then as you push it, it'll lock into place. Not a big deal. So let's talk about the pliers. This is supposedly a one-handed operation pliers, and you can see right here, I say supposedly because sometimes it jams up on me. What I wish they had was on the other side, you have this here piece that slides back and forth. This piece of metal. I wish it had some kind of grip texture on it, like it does on this side, because there are times when I will grab it and, you know, slide it like this. It's a good fidget tool. But you do also have the ability to flick it, you know, and as you can see, easier said than done. There it goes. You have to really, you know, flick it in order to get it out. But it does work. Now, the pliers themselves are spring-loaded, which is nice. I like that. Not a lot of the pliers are spring-loaded. Arc happens to be here. God, I love this thing. It's like my butterfly knife. Yeah, these are not spring-loaded, but still great pliers, except for the cutters. Speaking of the cutters on these right here are not that great either. But here's the issue I have with the pliers. Okay, say I want to use them. So if I go over here, and I'm just going to crimp down on these a little bit. I don't know what happens. It kind of locks or frees up. You can see I have to push it, and then it'll click open. So this isn't a whole lot of pressure here, guys. I mean, I'm, you know, squeezing a little bit, and, you know, they lock up. Now, I don't know if that's by design, but you can see if I push it, it'll click open. If you squeeze these without anything in there, in the jaws, it doesn't do that. It's only when you actually grab onto something. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a flaw, maybe it's by design. Who knows? But they are nice pliers. I like how they have the needle nose front. I got this little center portion here where you can, you know, if you had a nut that you needed to turn or something. So, anyways, gosh, I can't believe they did this, but they put a ruler in here. And I guess it's good, like, say if you were, you know, measuring something where you can get on the side of it and you could take a look at it. But like if you had to line it up and you had to actually close the handle, it would be kind of difficult to see the measurements on the ruler. But you know, if you're using this, you can't be using this for, you know, exact measurements. You got to be just using it just to get an idea of how long it is or whatever it might be. Obviously you would have a tape measure for that. This is just a quick, oh yeah, this is about 4 inches long, you know, that kind of thing. So just wanted to point that out. There is an extra bit driver in here as well. And this has a flathead. Cannot stand flathead screws, but anyways, you could put whatever you want in there. And that's also a stop for the pliers. All right, let's take a look at some of the tools that are in here, and we'll talk about this locking, unlocking mechanism. It's also has a hole for a lanyard. So the first tool is the scissors. Spring-loaded, pretty good scissors. Here's the issue that I have with this locking mechanism. It kind of gets in the way when you're using it like this, but I was thinking you could probably flip it around like this, and now it actually feels good. Oh, there you go. You could grab it like this, use your finger. Actually works pretty good. Feels pretty good. I mean, this is super thin metal, so it's, you know, it doesn't feel great on your thumb or your forefinger or your index finger, but it gets the job done. I mean, what are you cutting? You're cutting some paper, you're cutting some paracord, whatever it might be. It's not like you're cutting through barbed wire. All right, so to unlock, you just push this down and the tool will move or unlock. Now, some of these tools are kind of hard to open without, you know, really getting metal stuck in you. Like, for example, the pry tool. So the pry tool, you know, you got to be careful here because you got your bottle opener or can opener. Not a can opener. I don't know. Is it a can opener? It's a bottle opener. You got to push it. And here you go. Now, what you're going to be using this pry tool for, maybe opening a paint can, you know, a small nail, thumbtack that's in there, who knows, but nothing heavy duty. And, you know, you get some good leverage. You can get your thumb in here and just crank it. Okay, so let's close that. Nothing really spectacular about these tools. We have an awl next, very sharp, has a blade on the side here, and really nice point. I mean, nothing really spectacular, just basic needs stuff here. And here we have our file. Now, the file has, you know, linear pattern on one side and then like a checkered pattern on the other side. And it's an okay file. I mean, there's really nothing spectacular to it. But if you notice on the sides here, there's no pattern. You know, if we take a look at the Leatherman ARC file, it has that same pattern, but it's got the diamond coating on one side. But also, it has some texture you can see here, hopefully, on the edge, which is super nice. All right, so yeah, there they are. This multi-tool's all right. It's kind of big, not too heavy. Fits really nice in your hand when you're using it, especially as the pliers. And I do like the center drive for, you know, using the bits, the full-size bits, which is really, really nice. Nice to have. Is it worth $145? No. I think it's more of like, this should have been like a $100 tool, maybe even less. Let's see if I can flick it out again. I gotta get used to that. There it goes. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about knives. Speaking of Gerber, I just got the Gerber Scout, and it's a really nice looking knife. I love the dark blade with the coyote color. Has some nice texturing here, and a small clip that's up high so you can get it deep in the pocket. It does have a glass breaker right here, and this is kind of nice because it's integrated into the frame. It has two bolts in there. They go straight through to give it support. So I would think if you were using it, maybe not like this because the blade hits your hands, but maybe like this, yeah. And then the thumb feels good right there. You just whack, break the glass. So deployment on this has a nice big hole here. You know, you could stick your thumb in there and you could open it up slowly, or you could flip it. But what I found was the best way to do this was you have your unlocking mechanism that's on both sides, and you have to do 2 fingers. I don't care. I try to do it with 1 finger here, 1 finger here. 2 fingers is the way to go. But anyways, the deployment of this is actually really easy. If you hold the locking mechanism down, boom, and just snap it out. Close it, snap it, oh, close it. It has a ball bearing, so it just deploys real easy if you do it like that. Forget about this thumb thing. It's difficult to get your thumb in there. Gosh, I mean, even the Leatherman ARC, you know, has the thumb support, so you could, you know, flip it out. But you could also, I mean, if you really wanted to, you know, you could flip it out with your thumb. Really easy. Just flip it. Of course, you can't flip it like this, but you could use your thumb, you know, to just flip it out. And I think this is a really nice knife. It has a really good symmetrical blade in here. It's thick blade compared to, gosh, did I talk about the blade on this? Oh my God, I didn't talk the blade. So yeah, let's talk about the blade now that we're talking about blade. Here it is. This is probably the thinnest. And if you notice, it doesn't lock into place. That's because I didn't open it up all the way. There it goes. It clicks. It's got this lock. Yeah, there it goes. Maybe I just need to work it in, break it in. But it has the serration. I know people hate that. I don't care. I love it. I think it looks cool. But this blade is so damn thin. I mean, it is like the thinnest blade. It almost looks like it's, if I use it, it's gonna break. But it is a nice size blade. Yeah, let's take a look at this blade. As far as length goes, but thickness, whew, man, it is thin. Gosh, can't believe I forgot to talk about the blade on this. So anyways, back to the Gerber knife. This is a nice size blade, and it has texture here for your thumb. Put your index finger here, and then it's got, you know, this pattern right here for your remaining fingers, and it does have a lanyard hole, so it feels really good in your hand. But you know, $60 for this. It's made in China. I hate to say it, it's made in China. I know, everybody yell at me for buying it, but it's really hard to find something that's made in America. I got this knife for $30. Remet. Look at this thing. This thing's awesome. It's got the nice, with the mica grip, good belt clip. You could use it as a lanyard. It's got some holes here, but look at deployment on this. Boom. It's got a button here that you push to disengage the lock, and then it just closes. So boom, boom. I mean, you could even use this right here and just, you're out, you know. And I've put this on, like, you know, my belt, or, you know, the edge of a couch, and just, you could just flick it right out. It's really nice knife, and I think this was like $30, $28. Of course, I don't know what the steel is on any of these, but I should have looked that up before talking about them. But this is just a general discussion video. Yeah, really nice knife, and this does match a lot of the Olights that I have, because it's black and it's got this little blue purplish type ring. Very, very cool knife. I mean, you know, if we look at, let's see, where is it? Here we go. Benchmade. Let's look at the Benchmade. By the way, so this is got some weight to it, but it's not bad. This is really heavy, a lot heavier. This Benchmade is extremely light. It is just paper light. But you know, let's look at this knife that I paid $135 for. Whew. Deployment, boom, not bad. But this takedown mechanism that's similar to the Gerber is okay, there it goes. Boom. Now, I'm, you know, guys who are fans of Benchmade will say, yeah, but they'll sharpen your knife for life. That's cool. I'm never going to send them this knife to have them sharpen it. I'll just do it myself. Yeah, you know, it has the lanyard hole, has the pocket clip up high. It has a pretty good texture. It almost feels like plastic. You know, it's super lightweight. I like the color pattern of it, with the thumb knob gold, the dark colored blade. And, you know, this is actually the Ranger green, but it does look, you know, beige. But it's still, I like the color combination. It's similar to this, you can see. Ranger green, definitely beige. Or coyote, I should say, coyote in color. Yeah, so this is, God, I mean, look at the blade on this. It's a pretty good size blade as far as thickness goes, but as far as like size of the blade, you know, this blade dwarfs it. I don't know, I get these things, but I love them. Like women, You know, they can never have too many shoes. For us, you can never have too many knives, multi-tools, and lights. Let's talk lights. Yeah, let me flip my... And by the way, this video case is awesome. This is one of the best things I got, so I can hold all my lights and knives and multi-tools and whatnot. So lights, I just got rid of the Seeker 4 Pro. I just didn't like it. It was getting too hot. And I wasn't impressed with the beam. But check out the Perun 2. This thing's freaking awesome. I have so many of these too. I got this in also the green because I like the green color that Olight has. And this is a great light. This thing is really bright. Functioning is really easy. And I like that, you know, you could clip this to your belt. You can clip it to, if you have a backpack, you can clip it to your jacket. And it is really bright. Nice to hold. Feels good. The charging. I know they use this magnetic charging, which drives me nuts because now I got this and I have the green one. They both have the same charger, right? No. For some reason, that charger that came with this model doesn't charge the green one. It's the same thing. It's the Perun 2. So what the heck are they doing there? But the charges do last a very long time on these. You know, I have most of the green ones. I have, you know, so many different lights here. It's just insane. Some of these Army Techs are pretty cool. But yeah, if you definitely, you know, if you want to get this light or you're thinking about getting it, this is definitely worth every penny. Like I said, that Seeker 4, I wasn't too impressed with. I wasn't even impressed with, oh gosh, what is it? It's the, where is it? Well, anyways, yeah, here's the Warrior. Here we go. This is the one I was on. The Warrior Nano. You know, this has the button in the back. And of course, here's that, you know, that pattern, that black with the bluish purple. That's what I was saying. It kind of matches this knife right here, if you see. But I have so many Olights that are black and with the blue, I just can't stand it anymore. So now I get, you know, the green I do like, and I wish they would make this color. This color is really cool. They came out with this. This is a Perun Mini, and I love this camo color. I wish they would come out with more of their flashlights with this color because this is dope. Look at that. Looks great. But yeah, these lights, you know, people at one point were really putting down Olight, just saying, the crap, you know, China made all this. Hey, you know what? I'll spend the money for these Olights. I really like the design of them. Some of them. I didn't like the Seeker 4. I, you know, didn't think that was worth it. And this Warrior Mini is okay. It's just, I don't know. I think it's overrated. You know, the use of it. It does have pretty good output with the light. I don't really use the button on the back here. I'm more use this button right here because that's how I'm usually holding it. I mean, something this small, I'm not holding it like this. Some of the other lights, you know, that are longer, I would utilize, you know, the button there in the back. I'm trying to think. This is the Phoenix. Yeah, this is Phoenix. Trying to find one that has a button in the back. But yeah, I just think Olight missed the mark on that Seeker 4, but you know, people do love it. They think it's like the greatest thing. So whatever. I just didn't care for it. All right, so let's move on. What are we gonna talk about next? Internet. Hey, let's talk about internet. So recently I got rid of Optimum and I got Frontier. So here's the board I set up, all nice. Frontier. So here's a problem that I have with Frontier. So, well, wait, let's talk about Frontier in general. So I have the 1 gigabyte service and it is great. I'm getting about 900 megabytes per second download, maybe 950 megabytes per second upload. Now, will I get the full 1000? Probably not. But I mean, I had the 300 service for Optimum before, and I was paying $99 a month. So now I'm paying $64 a month, with the taxes and fees that they have, for 1000 megabytes per second download and 1000 upload speeds. And it's great. Here's one of the problems I have with this. So if we look underneath here, let me get the light. So you can see they have an Ethernet port, and that one line, that's a Cat 8 Ethernet port or a cable that I ran directly to my router. It goes outside and up the house, through the attic, into my office area in the center of the house, because I wanted to utilize my Wi-Fi router, and that Ethernet cable runs directly to it. It's 75 feet. If you notice to the right here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 other Ethernet cables. Well, guess what? You cannot use those. This one Ethernet port or cable, port, I should say, that runs, it needs to run to a device, and that device being a Wi-Fi router. It's its sole purpose. I cannot hook it up. Like I asked the tech, I said, could I hook it up to my Netgear unmanaged switch here? Because then I can throw my PlayStation 5 in there, and I could just run patch cable, Cat 8. I could just run it from here into here, and then boom, 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 boom. He said, nope, you can't do it. They don't activate these other ports, just that one. So if I wanted to run, cable out of anything, it would have to be my Wi-Fi router. But most of the devices are above me right now, and the Wi-Fi router is on the other side of the house, in the middle of the house, but on the other side of the house. So I would have to somehow figure out how to run those wires to this side. It's just a pain. Whereas if I was able to use this, I have all my wires right here that I can connect to, and there's a couple others that you don't see, and I would just be able to connect to my unmanaged switch and just provide them with internet. Not a big deal, but it kind of bummed me out that they can't activate those remaining ports so that I could utilize the service. And, one other thing he said was that, it would slow things down. And I said, yeah. But, with that much service coming in, how much is it really going to slow it down? It's not like every unit is on at the same time. And even if it is, I doubt it's really going to slow it down that much. All right. So what else? Oh, let's talk about guns, right? Let's hold on one second. I'll be right back. All right, let's talk about guns. So I wanted to talk about this guy right here. These are all my safe kings and queens, as you could see. There's a cool light. I haven't opened that up. That is the Harley edition. So I have that in here. I'm just going to keep it. But anyways, let's talk about this guy. Be right back. So what is this? What is this here? This is a Glock 43. But it's not just any old Glock 43. This is the Zev edition Glock 43 that I really like. It's a nice gun. I love the pattern. I love the way it looks. The American flag. It's got the Zev trigger. Let's make sure it's safe. Let's pop this out. Clear the chamber. We're empty. And yeah, so it has all the Zev markings on the slide. It's got the Trigicon night sights, which is really nice. I put the backplate on here, which looks really cool. And this is a great gun. However, here's what I have a problem with. The stippling that they put on this grip is just brutal. I mean, it really digs into your hands like you wouldn't believe. And The trigger's nice. Nice little reset. Boom. I put a tungsten guide rod in it to help with it being snappy, and then it has, of course, a true precision barrel in there, which is they're really nice barrels. I have them in a couple of my guns. I even have it in my P365, and it's a really nice barrel. But this gun is a little bit snappy. The Glock 43 has a little bit of snappiness to it, but it does feel comfortable in your hand. The problem that I have is this stippling right here. Now, if you were wearing gloves, yeah, they would probably be excellent because you have enough room here in the trigger area to get your finger with a glove on, and of course the gloves themselves would, take up any of this grippiness that you're getting from the grip and the stippling. But this is a really nice gun. I haven't shot it a whole lot, mainly because this is like, it's a safe king, queen, whatever you want to call it. It's a very hard gun to find, and when you do find them, they're not cheap. I got this many years ago. You see the top. Look at the top. They got all the American flags. I got this many years ago. I think it was like it was $1,000. It was $1,100. Yeah, $1,100 I got it for. But right now, if I was to sell this, I probably can get a little bit more than that, if not the same price, which is always nice. The magazine release is really nice. It's right where it needs to be, and this is typical of Glock. The magazines don't fall out like other magazines do. I don't know if it's because these are plastic, magazines, who knows, but what I mean is it does disengage, and I could just grab it and pull it out. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to push that in, and it does have nice pattern checkering on there, so that you know it's there. Yeah, really cool gun. If you like Glocks, if you like the Glock 43, definitely get this if you are a collector. And let me just open this up so you can see the barrel. The barrel has slight fluting on it, and there's the tungsten guide rod right there. Really, really cool. All right, one last thing before we end the video here. And I was looking in the safe and I saw this, and I said, wait, Beretta knives. I didn't even realize I had this. So let's take a look at this. And this is a really nice looking knife here. Let's see if I can flip it. Nice. Very cool. Wow, look at this blade. That is a really unique blade. You got your cutouts here to make it light. Got the serrated part. God, this thing is really sharp. Ooh, I can feel that. But this is a nice knife. I didn't even realize I had this thing. Wow. I gotta look this up so I can get the specs on it. But it does have the push lock here to close. And I was able to flick that right open at first try. Nice. I didn't even... Did I oil this up? Doesn't look like there's oil in there. Well, maybe I'll spend some time, do some therapy, and oil this bad boy up. Yeah, so I just wanted to show that. A Beretta knife. Boom. Let's see what it says on the box. Airlight. Huh. It's the Airlight model. Pretty neat. And it is very light. Gosh. Yeah, this is a really nice knife. All right, so that's it. I have so many things, so many toys and things that we could talk about here. But I just wanted to, spend some time talking to everybody. I haven't posted a video in a while. So, I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the next video. Who knows what we'll talk about or what we'll show. See you later.